Hey travel friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim. This is Kim After 50, where we talk about a whole lot of travel and a little bit about what it is like to start your life over at 50. Not starting over from scratch, but starting over from experience. So it's Money Monday on this channel. I try to do a money related video every Monday. Sometimes it will be about travel. Other times it will be about saving, getting out of debt, making extra income, or all of the above. I just got back last week from Margaritaville at Sea Islander. So this particular video is going to be every penny I spent on Islander. So I keep a happy planner. Right now, my happy planner is primarily a journal, and I do my actual planning in a bullet journal. That can change at any time. It's just whatever I feel, I go with the flow. So I wanted to go ahead and show you this. And this is my first time doing this after a cruise like this, but I love it. So I wanted to share this with you. And it is the breakdown of every penny I spent on my Islander cruise. My cruise was June 17th through the 22nd. The ship went to Key West and Progresso. We sailed from Tampa. This was a solo cruise. It was just me. And I had available $1,020 in my travel budget. This is my vacation envelope where every week I put cash in here towards my travel fund. When I take a vacation, I take the cash out and put it in the bank to cover whatever I used on my credit card. So I will be taking whatever the total is for this out of this envelope and putting it in the bank to pay the credit card that I used for the trip. And then whatever I have left rolls over towards future vacations. I have a video about this also on my channel. I'll link it in the description box. Okay, so let's go. So again, I had $1,020 available for this trip. My base fare was $331.67. I was in an interior cabin, and again, traveling solo. The promo type I used was the Hero discount. If you aren't aware, Margaritaville at Sea does offer discounted sailings and free sailings if you are an educator, a veteran, first responder. Check out that program if you think you might qualify. So the discount that I got off of this using that Heroes program was $66.33, and taxes and fees were $129.86. Gratuities were $100 on Margaritaville at Sea Islander. It is $20 per night unless you're in a suite. I think the suites are $24 per night. I was not in a suite. Again, I was in an interior cabin. And so my automatic gratuities were $100. This was a 5-night sailing. That brought my pre-cruise total to $395.20 because they charged the $100 while I was on the ship. And so my total for that is going to be $495.20, including those gratuities that got charged after. Now, parking was $0. I live very close to the port in Tampa, so I did not need to pay for parking. Gas was $40, and I got dropped off at the port and picked up at the port, so that was $40. I didn't do any last minute shopping, so that new grand total for pre-cruise expenses, again, is $435.20 for pre-cruise, but I added the gratuities to this section, so $535.20. Even though this section is pre-cruise, it's also the bare minimum I would have to pay to take this cruise. I like to put all together because everything down here is extra, but this is the bare minimum I would have to take to pay this cruise, and so I'm going to include gratuities in that. Okay, so for onboard spending, I have my drinks. I spent $118 on my drinks. This includes Diet Coke, waters, and pink Cadillac margaritas. If you are ever on a Margaritaville at Sea cruise, I highly recommend pink Cadillac margaritas. They are like my favorite drink, period, now. The sodas were $3.50 each. The waters, I think were $3.95 or $4.95, but it was the like 1 liter bottle, I believe. And then the pink Cadillac margaritas were $15. For the most part, I drank the filtered water provided by the cruise, and it was okay. I added drink packets to it at times. Other times I just drank the plain water. But for the most part, it was okay. Dining, $62. This is for room service. I ordered room service a few times, and that was my total. Wi-Fi was $48. I did not get a Wi-Fi package on this cruise because we were going to be in Key West one day, Progresso another day, and I knew that I would be able to get my T-Mobile's Wi-Fi those days. And this was a relaxation cruise for me. So I just purchased Wi-Fi as I needed it by the hour. The basic Wi-Fi was $6 for an hour. The premium was $8 for an hour. And so that came to $48. I didn't do the casino, the spa, didn't buy anything, didn't do any photos. So that came to $228. Port day expenses are $0. I stayed on the ship in both ports. And then extras. Cash tips were $35. Breakfast post cruise was $18. On the way home, we went and just grabbed some breakfast because I did not get breakfast on the ship. I never get breakfast on, well, for the most part, I don't get breakfast on disembarkation day because I'm just ready to get off at that point. But that $18 busted my budget. I should have just eaten on the ship. Total $53. So the grand total that I spent on this cruise was $816.20. Remember, I was solo. It was a 5-day cruise, and I have $203.80 rollover. So that number is going to go up today because I will be adding more to it's a new week. I do all of my money stuff on Mondays, all my banking and budgeting on Mondays. So that number is going to go up today because I'll be putting more in my cash envelope. But $203.80 is what I had to roll over and put towards future vacations. So then the final question is, how do you feel about your spending on this cruise? My honest answer is I feel pretty good. I was $16 over what I was shooting for. I was shooting for $800 or less, but I really have no regrets. So that's why I said that $18 was a budget buster. Like, I literally got up, but I wasn't aware, first of all. I think if I knew how close I was to my budget, I would have skipped breakfast and just eaten at home. I'm like 25 minutes from the port. You know, here we are. So I feel pretty good about it. I had a great time. Do I think it was worth it? I absolutely think it was worth it. So that is it. That is every penny I spent on this cruise. I would love to know what you think. If you think, Kim, you did good, go ahead and drop $1 sign in the comments. If you think, you did okay, drop $2 signs in the comments. And if you think, Kim, you have bumped your head, sis, you spent way too much money, drop $3 signs in the comments. I would love to know what you think about what I spent on this cruise. If you're interested in every penny I spent on other cruises, I will link those below. I have started doing this after every cruise. So I'll see y'all on the next video, maybe one day at sea or somewhere else around this big, beautiful world. Bye-bye.